נחמו נחמו עמי יאמר אלוהיכם 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 נחמו נחמו עמי יאמר אלוהיכם
Avona, Nachamu.
nitzavona. Nachamu, nachamu ami. Tamale Yerushalayim hekiru eleha ki malatzeva ki nitzavona ki lakha miyad miyad Hashem kiflayim b'chol chatoteha. Nachamu, nachamu, ami. Nachamu, nachamu, yomar Elokechem. Nachamu, nachamu, ami. Nachamu, nachamu, yomar Elokechem. Kol korei bamidbar, panu derech Hashem. Yashru barava, mesila lelokeinu. Nachamu, nachamu ami. Nachamu, nachamu ami. Nachamu, nachamu, yomar Elokechem. 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 Yashru
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom. Wonderful to be with everybody. And hope you are all doing well and ready to celebrate Shabbat with us. We're going to begin with a little music with Shalom Aleichem, which is on page 24 if you have a book at home, and I will share it here. Just give me 1 second for the Siddur to show up on the screen. There was a lot of wonderful music, actually mostly music, Cantor Paul, that I have never heard before, but
I'm full of surprises.
It was all about this special Shabbat, which is called Shabbat Nachamu, which is a Sabbath of comfort, the first of 7 Sabbaths of comfort between Tisha B'Av, which was Wednesday evening and Thursday, and Rosh Hashanah. So we are the beginning of a 7-week cycle of Haftorot, of special prophetic readings. This week's is from Isaiah, that offer comfort to the Jewish people. And I'll speak a little bit about that a little later. We're going to continue now with Shalom Aleichem.
So before I do that, I just wanted to share briefly what we heard. We started off with Shlomo Katz. Shlomo Katz, who is the son of one of my teachers, Avshalom Katz, who was the longtime cantor at here in Los Angeles and service leader. And then we heard the Maccabees. And if we were on a little bit longer, we would have heard some Neshama Karlbach as well. Her father Shlomo Karlbach created one of the more memorable Nachamu chants, but she does a beautiful job. So it was a Spotify playlist. Check it out. Just type Nachamu in your little search engine, and you'll get a lot of that. You'll get exactly that. Those selections, and I'm going to share another one a little later, a little more contemporary version of Nachamu after the rabbi's teaching this evening. So Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashare, Malachei Elyon, Bimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. I'm going to do it again because I did the second verse again. Baruch Hu l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We are going to continue on as we move toward our candle blessings. You can see, well, you will be able to see in a moment, but you can't while I'm speaking, but candles burning behind Cantor Paul. I'm going to share a reading first, and then we will continue with our blessing over the Shabbat lights. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We continue in a moment with Lecha Dodi, but before we start singing Lecha Dodi, as is our custom, we take a moment to reflect on the week that has been, to go all the way back to last Shabbat and to spend a moment on each day, on its challenges and on its blessings. And then we'll come back together after we take a moment to remember and to breathe in and to breathe out and to release the week that has been. We'll come back and sing together Lecha Dodi. We will sing together verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. I'll have to be moving back and forth between the pages here. And when we get to verse 9, depending on how you're situated in your home, either rise and face your front door or whatever door people enter your house, or turn your chair so that we can symbolically welcome the Shabbat presence and that Nishama Yetera, that extra soulfulness that travels with us during Shabbat, into our home and into our heart. Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likrat kalai alalai 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 Tere Shabbat Mehekabela Lecha Dodi likrat kalai alalai 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 Tere Shabbat Mehekabela Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echan Hishmeanu el hamyuchan Adonai echad u'shmo echad L'shem ultiferet v'litchila Lecha Dodi likrat kalai alalai 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 Pnei Shabbat mehekabela Lecha Dodi likrat kalai alalai 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 Pnei Shabbat mehekabela Likrat Shabbat mechuven elcha Ki mekor habracha Merosh mikerem nesucha Sof ma'aseh b'machshva tchila Lecha Dodi likrat kalai alalai 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 Pnei Shabbat mehekabela Lecha Dodi likrat kalai alalai 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 Pnei Shabbat mehekabela Hitoreri, hitoreri Ki va'orech kumeori Uri, uri, shidaberi Kevod Adonai alayich nigla Lecha Dodi likrat kalai alalai 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 Pnei Shabbat mehekabela Lecha Dodi likrat kalai alalai 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 Pnei Shabbat mehekabela Boi v'shalom ateret bala Gam b'simcha uv'tzola Toch amunei am segula Boi chala Boi chala Lecha Dodi likrat kalai alalai 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 Pnei Shabbat mehekabela Lecha Dodi likrat kalai alalai 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 Pnei Shabbat mehekabela
We continue on page 26 with Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitgadal ve'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah Be'alma divrach chirutei ve'yamlich malchutei V'chayechon u'vyomechon Uv'chayedechol bed Yisrael Bagala, bagala, uvizman kariv, veimeru, Amen. Yehi shemei Rabbah mivarach, le'alam ul'olmei olmayah, yitbarach, yitbarach, וישתבח, ויתפאר וירומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה, ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה
Erichu.
לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תאמירן בעלמה ואמרו Amen.
Amen. We continue with our call to prayer, Baruch Hu, page 28.
La da 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 da, ya 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 da 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 da. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam va'ed. Yada dai dai dai, 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 yada dai dai dai.
Last three lines in the Hebrew, bottom of page 30.
El Chai v'Kayam, Tamidim L'Chaleinu L'Olam Va'ed, Baruch Ata Adonai,
Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo.
Amariv Aravi.
Amen. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form?
Ve'avadecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim, Baruch Ata Adonai,
Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo.
Oilamo Yisrael.
Amen. Continue with Shema Yisrael on page 34 and 35.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod, Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod, Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu,
We continue with Ve'ahavta, page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם emet.
We continue with our song of freedom and redemption, Micha Mocha, page 40.
Yada die 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 yada die 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 yada die 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 yada die 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 yada die 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 yada die 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 mi chamocha bailim Adonai mi chamocha nedar hakodesh toratilo Osei fele Osei fele Malchut Ra'u vanecha Vokeyam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam Malchut Ra'u vanecha Vokeyam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam Yada dai 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 yada dai 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 Yada dai 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 yada dai 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 Yada dai 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 yada dai 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 Yai dai 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 Zeli Anu ve'ameru Adonai imlo Lelam lelam va'eh Yada dai 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 yada dai 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 Yada dai 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 yada dai 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 yada dai 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 yada dai 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 V'ne'emar kivad Adonai et Yaakov וגלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני
Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo.
גל ישראל
Amen. Continue with Hashkivenu as we ask for a holy shelter of peace to be arrayed above us, to let us lie down in peace and wake up with purpose every day.
Ashkivenu ya Eloheinu leShalom Ashkivenu ya Eloheinu leShalom Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha Ashkiveinu Ya Eloheinu Shalom Ashkiveinu Ya Eloheinu Shalom Baruch Atah Adonai
Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo.
Haporeis Sukat Shalom Aleinu Sukat Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Amo Yisrael Ve'al Yerushalayim.
We give thanks for Shabbat, for the rhythm it gives to our week, for the community it lets us connect to, for the divine presence that helps us feel. Vishamnu.
Vishamnu b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Lasod et HaShabbat Lidorotam berit olam Vishamnu b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Lasod et HaShabbat Lidorotam berit olam Veini vein b'nei Yisrael oti leolam oti leolam oti leolam Veshamnu b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Lasod et HaShabbat Lidorotam berit olam Ki sheshet yamim Asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz ve'shamnu b'nei Yisrael et hashabat Hatzor et hashabat Lidorotam berit olam U'v'yom hashvi Shabbat v'yinafash Shabbat v'yinafash Shabbat v'yinafash Ve'shamnu b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Lasod et HaShabbat Lidorotam berit olam.
As we move into our Amidah, I invite you to create for yourself a little bit of sacred space, a little bit of holy space. You can do that by standing. You can do that by kind of creating some space around you as we move into our Amidah. And we'll sing the first few blessings together and then have some music from Dr. Randy Polivoy as an offering.
Oh, Shah. Oh, Shah. Oh, Shah. Oh, Shah. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai, Sephatai Tivtah, Ufi Agi Tehilatecha Adonai Sefatai Tiftach Fi Agi Tehilatecha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah.
Amen.
Atah gibor le'olam Adonai Mechayei hakol atah Rav lehoshia Morid atah מכלכל חיים וחסד, וחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים לכל לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך מלך ממיד ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל.
You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo,
Ha'el HaKadosh.
Amen.
Please take a few moments for your own private prayer, the text of your own heart. Shabbat Shalom, Randy.
Shalom, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom, everyone out there. I am going to play a excerpt of a Schubert impromptu this evening. I'm not going to say much about it other than I have used it on occasion at many points in the service, particularly high holidays at TBI, and during interludes and meditative moments, which this is. So I think the music speaks for itself. It's, in my opinion, one of the closest representations of prayer, a musical composition representing a type of prayer. It has a very prayerful quality to it. So this is the Schubert Impromptu, excerpts from.
Thank you so much, Randy. That was beautiful. We continue now with turning our thoughts to those in our lives, in our community, and in our world who are in need of healing, of body, of mind, of spirit. Turn to the words of Misha Berach.
O Holy One, who blessed our mothers, blessed our fathers from ancient days, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their names. HaKadosh Yimalei rachamim aleihem lehaksikam urapa otam vishlach lahem refuat shlema refuat hanefesh refuat haguf b'toch sha'ar cholei Israel. Oh, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their name.
We ask for blessings upon Rebecca Gilman, Bela Pasternak, Hannah Fields Austin, Aaron Goichenberg, Sue Toback, Alicia Goldfarb, Paula Steinbach, Rosen Lefkowitz, Helen Weinfeld, Gabrielle Silton, Pam Poliakoff, Connie Shapiro, Kathy Blumenfeld, Gloria Austin, Caitlin Antrim, Judith Bosworth, Kathy Brewster, Doug Austin, Liz Fields, David Bush, Stephanie Holland, Mark Goldberg, Maureen Fenton, Jennifer Rudin, Susan Brewer, Charity Razade, James Stead, Ed Ansell, Marion Schneiders, Kimberly Zimmerman, Judith Schweitzer, Lori Snyder, Gail Gant, Brad Holland, Isley Holland, Jacob McNaughton, Bernie Carmatz, Mike Klein, Michelle Raphael, Beatrice Caden, John Kerr, Meg Silton, Ken Mitchell, Linda Jones, Allison Auerbach, Ramon Diaz, Henry Gerard, Kirby Perkins, Brenda Found Gerard, Serena Postal, Laura Morse, Bear Hartman, John Hodges. And people have been listing names in the chat, and of course, all of those who we carry in our hearts.
HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei rachamim aleihem. Oh, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their names.
Rabbis are teachers. We are not born into our positions as the kings of the Bible, nor called like the prophets. We have master's degrees. Hey, the word rabbi even means master. The primary role of a rabbi is to bring Jews closer to Torah, to the Jewish people, and to God through teaching, and to help people craft lives of meaning and bring healing to our broken world. As the final Torah teaches, the final chapter of Pirkei Avot is greater than the priesthood or the kingship, for it is acquired through many virtues like study, listening, verbalizing, comprehension of the heart, awe, fear, humility, joy, purity, serving the sages, companionship with one's contemporaries, debating with one's students, tranquility, study of Torah, just to name a few that are listed in Pirkei Avot. The way we make Torah accessible is through these great virtues, through studying the text, through listening to our teachers and our students, through humility. These values have opened up new worlds of interpretation and meaning. Everything can be at our disposal to make the Torah closer to our hearts. There is a maxim in rabbinic literature, ein mukdam ve'ein meuchar b'Torah. There is no early or late in the Torah. That is, you don't have to read the Torah chronologically. I have shared with you before in a High Holy Day sermon the idea of predicate theology, that sometimes we get stuck with what is God. But if we turn our common ideas about God around, right? The idea is God is good, God is just, God is compassionate, God is awesome. We can understand God in a new way when goodness, compassion, justice, or awe are present. Godliness, holiness is present. We read backwards. We start with the predicate of the sentence. My colleague, Rabbi Noah Farkas, suggests that we read some passages from Torah backwards as well to help us to understand them. Let's take a look at this week's Torah portion, Ve'et Hanan. Arguably, it's one of the most important portions in the book of Deuteronomy. In this week's portion, we find both the Shema and the Ten Commandments. It's amazing stuff, except to some of us, to modern readers, the theology of these passages can seem a little theocentric, a little heavy-handed, God-first language. To many of us, including me at times, theological notions of oneness or I am the Lord seem distant from my personal experiences of everyday life. Yet these are precisely how both of these texts begin. When my students struggle with this theology of a powerful, transcendent God, or when I struggle with it, I can go back to the idea, ein mukdam ve'ein meuchar b'Torah. There is no early or no late. There's no chronology in the Torah. We can read the text of the Shema and the Ten Commandments backwards. And if we do this, we can see a different approach to God emerging. In the Shema, the second paragraph of the Shema, the end of the Ve'ahavta paragraph, focuses on Jewish behavior. Don't think about God, do God. Write the words of the Shema on your doorposts. Make a mezuzah. Make your home a Jewish space. Only then can you really create your Jewish identity that includes learning and teaching, sacred moments, and eventually loving with all your heart, the core of your being. Read the Shema backwards and you can find God there, because when we create a home shaped by Jewish values, holiness can be found there. In the Ten Commandments, our central rules of morality begin with the end, according to Rabbi Farkas. The last commandment basically teaches us to stop looking over our shoulder at what others have, whether it's material goods or people's vacations. When we're asked not to covet our neighbor's things, it's sort of like saying today, people would say they have FOMO, fear of missing out. Well, we can't let FOMO get you down. Concentrate on our own lives. Find peace of mind. Then, if you do, then it'll be easy not to lie or cheat or steal or kill, the other commandments that are there, because you won't experience the murderous jealousy that comes along with acts of violence. And once we clear space for ourselves, we can look at our familial relationships and our spiritual practices, and eventually we can come to know the one from whom all this flows. For God and for both our Shema and the Ten Commandments, if reading them forward is difficult for you, read them backwards. And then you can find that through actions that are within your power, you can bring godliness, you can bring holiness into your life. This week's Haftarah is the first of 7 Haftarot of consolation that are between between Tisha B'Av and up to Rosh Hashanah. This week's is called Shabbat Nachamu and comes from Isaiah 40. The Haftarah begins with God comforting the Jewish people in their suffering. Nachamu, Nachamu Ami, comfort, comfort my people. I would take a moment to think about this as well. When we read text backwards, when we understand that when comfort and compassion and presence with one another are there, then we feel God's presence as well. That at this time in our world, when there is so much that seems out of sorts, so much pain, so much illness, so much dislocation, if we are there for each other and we comfort each other, then God will feel present with us as well. Nachamu, nachamu ami. Comfort, comfort, O my people. Shabbat shalom.
So when we began our service, we heard a number of versions of Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami, musical settings of that verse from Isaiah 40. Here's a little bit more contemporary one. You'll find it if you go to Spotify or other streaming services and just type in Nachamu. But I thought it was particularly appropriate to the time and the place we mostly find ourselves in right now. Smile and dry the tears that streak your weary face. Your wounded soul will be consoled by the wonders of this place. Laugh away the fears, no need to be afraid. The storm will pass, see the sunlight splash on these stones and on your face. After these long days of sorrow, after these long nights, and there'll come a time to leave the sadness behind. We'll rejoice again. After this black night passes, a new light will dawn, and you'll see how the light shines. Nachamu ami, Nachamu ami. So be strong, be true, be brave. You got to keep your head up high. You're young, you will be smiling soon. There's no need to cry. Smile and dry the tears. The day will soon be gone. You'll rise again. Throw off these chains. Return and carry on. After these long days of sorrow, after these long nights, and there'll come a time to leave the sadness behind. We'll rejoice again. After this black night passes, a new light will dawn, and you'll see. Look at the sign, see how it shines. Nachamu ami, Nachamu ami. Davru elev Yerushalayim, Vakiru al kiru aleha. Davru elev Yerushalayim, Vakiru aleha. After these long days of sorrow, after this long night ends, there'll come a time to leave the sadness behind. We'll rejoice again. After this black night passes, a new light will dawn, and you'll see how it shines. Follow the signs. Nachamu ami, Nachamu ami. Nachamu ami, Nachamu ami.
Thank you, Cantor Paul. We are going to continue with some announcements. I'd like to invite Laura Zuckerman to turn on her camera and her microphone and share some announcements with us.
Okay, thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom. I'm Laura Zuckerman, a member of the TBI Board of Trustees, and I'm thrilled to be here tonight. A very special thank you to the Rabbi and the Cantor for a very meaningful service, a wonderful talk, and a beautiful song, Cantor. and to Randy Polavoy for that beautiful Schubert piece. So I'm going to do something a little different. In addition to pointing out some events coming up, I'd like to say that even under these terrible COVID-19 conditions, our TBI community is thriving. In addition to our religious services, many groups are moving forward with plans on our staying in touch through Zoom and are doing the very things they did before, and in some cases even more. And I'd like to list some of them for you in case you have some time on your hands and would like to get involved with other congregants and feel like you're supporting the synagogue in different ways. So some of those organizations are the Women of TBI, a new group, the Brotherhood, Social Action and Social Justice, Adult Jewish Learning, Prayer Book Hebrew, Torah Study on Saturday, fundraising efforts, the Jewish Book Club, Membership Committee, and then the very important foundations of the foundation, security, finance, and more. So again, if you'd like to do some more things with your time, energy, and intellect, please contact the rabbi or Dina to see how you could contribute to these many endeavors. Now, I'd like to say that if your immediate family or your extended family has been involved with or touched by our wonderful TBI preschool, I want to make sure that you know we are pulling together to honor one of the most beloved teachers, Cindy Lang, who is just retired from the preschool. So we are doing a fundraiser and a special drive-through thing in September, on September 13th. And we have a memory book going. All this information is in your update, and your contribution, your comments would be most appreciated by Cindy. Also, the preschool is continuing to enroll. We now have 2 groups. We'd love to have 3. So if you know of any 2 to 5-year-olds who need a safe place to be with wonderful teachers, please contact Deborah Pruitt. Something brand new for the grown-ups. August, this coming Tuesday, and for 2 Tuesdays after that, the 4th, the 11th, and the 18th at 7 p.m., our own Sarah Truitt is going to lead us in a congregant reading of a wonderful play called Kindertransport by Diane Samuels. As many of you know, the Kindertransport is the name we have for the almost 10,000 Jewish children who were sent from Germany to Britain between 1938 and the start of the war. This play concentrates on a young girl named Eva, who has now grown up in England in a non-Jewish home, and through the birth of her own daughter, is struggling to come to terms with her Jewish identity. It's going to be a wonderful event, and even if you're interested in just hearing us read and hearing the discussion, just please register with the office. Secondly, we're now up to our 2nd book on the Israel bookshelf, beautifully led by Gary Gilbert. The 2nd book, this discussion will be on Wednesday, August 26th at 7:15. This book is a very recent personal and political biography of Theodore Herzl by a renowned Zionist scholar named Derek Pensler. And Gary starts us off with great background and a great telling of the book, and then we have a discussion. So again, RSVP to the office. One final thing and a new thing, as everything is new right now. In your TBI update that came last night, you can sign up to be part of the High Holy Day conversations led by congregants, to have your say about your desires, your concerns about the upcoming online High Holy Day observances. So if you're interested and want to hear, want to say what you're concerned about, or what songs you'd love to hear, or what prayers you want to be sure we say, please be sure to sign up for a group. And with that, I wish you Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much, Laura. Shabbat Shalom to you.
You.
I'm going to just add a few announcements. I'm going to first add on to those High Holy Day conversations. While they were in the calendar of the TBI update, there actually was a special email today that went out this morning that was just dedicated to those High Holy Day conversations. I want to mention two other things. Sarah Truitt and I are leading a conversation group for those who want to talk about the way that they're feeling and the challenges that they're experiencing during this COVID-19 time. The next one will be the first one will be August 17th. That's different from last week's TBI update, but it does match what was in the one that went out yesterday. The first one will be August 17th. It's a Monday evening. Please let the office know if you're interested in participating, so that we will only hold a group if there are people who want to participate, and we'll also want to cap the numbers. If many people want to participate, we would add a second group. And finally, we're starting a new series within our racial justice work. It's going to be a 3-part series every other Thursday, beginning this upcoming Thursday. So it will be August 6th and 20th and September 3rd, Thursday nights. We are going to ask that people make a commitment. It's at 7 o'clock. If they're going to sign up to come to all 3 of those sessions. There will be other things in the future if you can't make those times or those dates. If you've been coming to our racial justice things in the past, you will get an email from me tomorrow on Sunday that gives the details about that. But if not, if you're interested in participating, just send me an email, rabbi@tbipomona.org. Any other announcements you have, Cantor Paul?
A couple of things. I just wanted to give a pitch for something that, two things Laura did not mention. One is that we have a lay-led minyan led by Rabbi Rachel Axelrad, the third Saturday morning. Details of that are always in our updates. And I believe that this Sunday, our Brotherhood meeting has a very special speaker, Arthur Weinstein, partner of Laura, and he will be speaking as part of the Brotherhood meeting. If you're not a Brotherhood member but would like to be one or would like to attend the meeting, I'm sure that that can be arranged either by contacting Ira Quatcher, or if you don't know Ira's contact, you can contact Rabbi and myself. We're happy to send it along. And I will say one last thing, that is that I know that there may be some of you out there who are watching our services, who feel connected to our community in some way, but are not officially, quote unquote, members. We invite your formal connection. There's no particular financial commitment involved, although we do have some guidelines. We call it a fair share. But that's really a second step. What we first and foremost want, especially as we get closer to the high holy days, and there will be certain things available only to those whose names we have. Please, if you're a current member and haven't renewed, if you are out there somewhere and just want to say that you like what we're doing and you support us, please get in touch. We would love to have you formally affiliated with Temple Beth Israel.
We're going to now move toward the end of our service with Aleinu L'Shabeach, which is, if you have a book at home, it's on page 282 in the middle of the page. We continue.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצון, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We take a moment to remember those who have been important in our lives and have left this earth, those who have died in recent days or at this time in years past. Remember from within the family of our community, the recent deaths of Andrea Trupp, friend of Aunt Marilyn Lubarsky, Evelyn Mastov, friend of Beth Litton, May Augarten, Herb Rosenswag, husband of Myra Rosenswag, Eugene Jean Breen, father of Stephanie Baker, Dorothy Moss, mother of Steve Moss. Remember the Yortzites, the anniversaries of the deaths of Elaine Lois Lowenthal, Louis Sherman, Ansley Arzt, Bessie Belinsky, Walter Cohn, John Thomas Lennox, Jeanette Medvin, Evelyn Ray, Celia Rose, Haskell Silver, Sandy Chase, Judy Goldberg, Dora Kalb, Pearl Lobel, David Morse, Edward Schwartz, Jobel Sherman, Larry Benjamin, Sylvia Gordon, Eleanor Klasinski, Monto Rosenthal, Jerry Sachs, Nathan Weiner, N. Scott Gideon, Benjamin Krieger, Delbert Leach, Brenda Rogers, Martha Shaber, Henrietta Anstadt, Myra Gianetti, Max Greenberg, Sarah Schall, Michael Smukler, Naomi Seidenberg, Irv Strub, Jeanette Stull, Krista Von Bloen, and Charlotte Weiss. If you're remembering people, you can hold their names in your heart and mind or mention them in our chat box to share with others. And we join in the words of Kaddish, which I will share on the screen now. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah.
Amen.
Bi'alma divrach hirutei v'amlich malchutei. B'chayachon v'yom echon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agalau v'zman kari v'imru amen.
Amen.
Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam v'lomei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal. Shmei dukudasha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechamata, da'amiram bi'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories always be for a blessing. We will close with Adon Olam, the last stanza, Biyado.
Biyado havkiduchi, ein ishan ve'a'ira, Ve'imruchi geviati Adonai li velo ira Ve'imruchi geviati Adonai li velo ira. My soul I give to you, my spirit in your care. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Hold me in your hand. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Safely in your hand. Ve'ado avtiduchi ve'edishan ve'a'ira ve'imruchi geviati Adonai li velo ira ve'imruchi geviati Adonai li velo ira. You're muted, Rabbi.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Let's join in Kiddush. It works better when I unmute my microphone. I'll let Cantor Paul have 1 minute there to grab his Kiddush cup as well.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri agafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zechar letziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta v'kol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai v'kadesh HaShabbat. Chaim.
L'chaim. Little challah. Can bless together. Cantor has a big challah, but I just have a little teeny piece of challah.
How big was it? Everybody reach out a virtual hand and put your hand on the challah. Just as if we were there, close your eyes. Remember what it's like. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lachem min haaretz Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Join us tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. on our Zoom Siyum channel for Havdalah. It will also be on Facebook Live, but we love to have you on Zoom so we can see you if you're able. We hope to see you soon. Lehitraot. Shabbat Shalom.
Lehitraot, everyone. Have a restful Shabbat.